Welcome to another episode of You Know Ball, baby. Brought to you by the Run the Play Network. I'm your host, Anthony. To my right, I got the man, Philly Phil, in the building. Phil, how you doing,
Hey, I'm
brother?
doing good, bro. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Finally graduated.
Yeah, congrats.
So that's good. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Been having a good, grand old time getting ready for life again. And been watching some really good playoffs, bro.
Hell yeah.
Been watching some really, really good
Hell
playoffs.
yeah. We got a lot of Run the Play graduates this year.
Hey,
Got
yeah.
me, you, and Joe. So we got the big three graduating. Everyone you see on
Joe's
camera.
graduating too?
Yeah, Joe graduates this year. So shout out us, man. We made it through school. We grinded it out. We hustled. And now we're here to talk about some NBA playoff basketball. We could kind of talk about how some of those series wrapped up, first and foremost. I believe last week we finished the East. The East was kind of set in stone. But the West, we had Game 7 on Sunday between the Thunder and the Nuggets. And SGA snatched Jokic's chain. MVP performance. You know how it get that. You know how that shit go. You know. So shout out to Thunder, man. You guys know I'm a Thunder fan. I'm ready to get a little emotional. You know, like if we go to the finals, bro. Like, because when I became a Thunder fan in 2011, like I was what,
11,
like 10, 11. You know, like I'm not like really alert or like knowing ball like that. Now it's like I've watched them the last like 14 years, pretty locked in, and now we're like finally here, you know? So it's cool to see. I was telling my brother, like, this is the first Thunder team, like the stars of this team, like I watched all grow, you know? With KD and Russ, like obviously they grew, but like it wasn't like this, you know, where like I'm watching them from the dirt to now.
Exactly.
Which is sick. So it's cool to watch, but yeah, man, I think SGA, like, there's a lot of talk about, like, Jokic should have won MVP and bullshit like that. Like, I think if you just look at counting stats, sure. But, bro, like, if you really look at it, bro, dude on a 68-win team led the league in scoring efficiently. The Thunder were hurt all year. Like, we've had this conversation 1,000 times, but I'm glad Shea won the award, and I'm glad the NBA recognized that. He deserved it. And in the playoffs, man, he's looked cold, too, man. And it's nice to see, like, him, Jalen Williams. Chet has been a little iffy offensively. Defensively, though, he's a monster, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Caruso fucked Jokic up, man. Caruso had him dirty. Caruso! No, you can't call him Caruso on the Thunder.
I'm calling him Caruso. Well, what are you calling him on the Thunder? You can't call him Bald Eagle either.
You call him Unk.
You call him Unk?
That's what they call him.
Nah, y'all got to give him more than that.
They
y'all
call him Uncle Caruso. With all due respect, he's the GOAT, though. He's really showing out. Like, that Game 7, man, he really locked Jokic up. That was very insane to see from a dude. And then the next game against the Timberwolves, he's on Anthony Edwards. You know, like, it's just versatility, man. And I think that's what this team has very well. I think this team is going to run through the rest of the playoffs.
I hope.
Yeah.
I just want Caruso to win his second ring because he deserved to win one on the Lakers. And the fact that Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka said, we prioritize THT over you. Any team I saw him on, I was like, I want you to crush us every time.
Yeah.
Because I love Caruso. And the fact that he's with OKC and doing his thing and helping you guys out, I love it. So I honestly hope that you guys do win so that Caruso can get his second ring.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about narratives in the playoffs, like the Jalen Williams stuff has been pissing me off.
What's been going on?
Whether it's he's smiling too much, he always looks too mad, or like they were saying like he blew us the series in the Nuggets series, and I was like, he had one bad game, a very bad game, but he's the player on our team, even more so than Shea or Chet. Like when he's having a good game, you feel it.
Yeah.
When he's having a bad game, you feel it. You know, and I felt like this playoffs he's been very good compared to last year, especially last year. Man, last year he was like a big reason of why we didn't make it past the second round.
Yeah.
So it's good to see him hoop. It was great to see him. He put up like I think 33 in Game 7 or something like that.
So.
He had a great game in Game 7. So yeah, I mean I want to give a shout out to the Nuggets though. I counted them out. I thought we were gonna wipe the floor with them. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought so too.
And that was mainly because of their depth, and their depth obviously didn't show out at all. Russell Westbrook shot bad in the series. Brown shot bad in the series. Aaron Gordon, shout out Aaron Gordon. That playing on that hip injury was sick as hell. Like that was very cool to see. Michael Porter Jr.
Were you talking about the last game? Sorry.
Yeah, Game 7. What do you have?
Got you.
Like 27?
Previous game. Nope, wrong one. My bad. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, shout out all those guys for playing through those injuries too, man. And a big shout out to Jokic, man. I think though, I am starting to realize the type of basketball players I like a little bit more. And it's not the Jokic's or the Lukas or like the prime Hardens. where you just give them the ball and you get out the way kind of, and like they'll create for you. I think it's more so the players that could fit into an offense a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I don't think that shit will work anymore. I think we saw it with like LeBron in his prime, and it worked so well because LeBron's like one of the best players we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I don't think like Luka or Jokic or these guys can pull that off, you know, and take a team to a championship. Because even like when the Mavericks made the finals, like Kyrie was pretty good in the playoffs. They had the big man rotation defensively that helped them out for sure. And then when the Nuggets made the finals, they had Bruce Brown, they had KCP. Like, you have to build a good team, bro.
Yeah.
So if they pay Christian Brown that $30 million, I think that kind of pigeonholes them into a very bad spot. Because now you're really locked in with these guys, you know?
Yeah.
And I just don't think it's enough, bro. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's enough to go all the way, especially in the trajectory the NBA is going where all these teams are 10 deep. Mm-hmm. Like, having 6 guys and one of them being Christian Brown, like, I don't think that's enough, you know?
Just to correct you real quick, it wasn't 30, but it was 24, 5, and 7, which is really good, though. And he was a plus 35.
Yeah, I mean,
that's amazing.
Bro, he killed, man. He killed. And, like, this SGA free throw merchant stuff is getting ridiculous. I will say, though, he does get to the line a lot, like, objectively. But that's because he's a bucket. And there's, like, narratives. As someone who's pro SGA, there's all the posts where it's like, well, 23 MVPs have shot more free throws a game than Shea. Well, that's because the Thunder blow teams out, and Shea sits in the fourth quarter, bro,
exactly,
for the most part. So I do think, like, he gets to the line at an extreme rate, but that's because he's unguardable, bro. It's not because he's flopping. Honestly, the only players I'd say are real floppers in my lifetime is Embiid. Like, Embiid is just, like, he'd just be doing too much, and he's too big to be doing that shit.
I'm about to say, like, if you're doing all that, if you're that big, you can't be doing all that, bro.
If you have a hand on SGA's hip and you're riding him down the court, pause, he's going to take advantage of that and get to the line. You know, that's a foul, though. So just keep your hands off of him. Don't be handsy, because that's what we're going to bust the Timberwolves' ass, and that's the narrative that's going to be. Like, it's going to be to save Anthony Edwards and that, like, oh, like, SGA gets all the whistles and Ant doesn't. But there was a stat from the last game where SGA drove, I think it was 20 times, and got fouled on 4 drives. Ant drove 7 times and got fouled on 1 drive. So it's like he's just not driving at the same rate as SGA, bro. If he's more aggressive, he was stuck on leading the league in threes this season, which like, it's cool to see his shot develop like that. But you got to be a little bit more, like, get to the basket, be aggressive a little bit. I know our team is scary on all fronts, up there and down there. But, yeah, before we, like, do official series predictions, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Boom Fantasy.
Man, okay, LeBron hit my parlay. Let's get it. Oh, shit, he hit it? Yeah, bro.
I won $200. I tailed your parlay.
How the heck did you win $200?
I used Boom Fantasy. I used their pick and spin, spun the wheel, got 10 times my money.
Bro, you got to hook me up.
If you use code RTP, you could get a risk-free bet up to $100. Let's get back to the video. All right, Phil. Thunder versus Timberwolves. Who you got winning the series?
I got Thunder. I'm still debating between 5 or 6. I want to say Thunder in 5. Screw it. I'm going to say Thunder in 5.
Okay. I'm going to say Thunder in 5, too. I wanted to say Thunder in 4. Now, real quick, before we get, like, official, you are down 1 right now. You had a great second round.
You're kidding.
Yeah, your second round, I think you hit, like, 3 series on the head. With game predictions.
Oh, I said Knicks in 6? Oh, yeah, because I changed it.
You cooked.
Thunder in 6. Dang it. I said they won in 7. Warriors in 6, which was awful, but I thought Jimmy Butler would turn into something with that spacing. And I said Pacers in 5.
So you hit a lot on the head. I think I got the Thunder right. I got the Timberwolves right. But I only got like 1 point because I didn't get the game predictions right.
Got you.
So, yeah, I mean, you're 1 behind, but I got Thunder. We both have the same thing for this one. So
okay.
Cancels out. Unless you want to switch to Thunder in 6. But I don't really think this round matters. I think the finals is where the winner is going to be picked.
Bro, that finals is going to be nuts whoever plays. Like, if the Thunder go on, I can't wait to see them, whether it's the Knicks or the Pacers.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be sick.
I'm going to love it. This is going to be one of the best finals to watch, bro.
The Pacers are on a March Madness type of run. But let's keep it to the Thunder for a second, or the Thunder Timberwolves. That first game was very rough for Minnesota, and they obviously got in their head that game.
Yeah.
They need to be better and more mentally strong.
Mentally prepared, yeah.
Yeah, because they just couldn't handle the moment, which is cool. But if Anthony Edwards, if we want to talk about him in these conversations that he's being put in, He's got to be better than that,
He
man.
really
He
does.
got frustrated. I know he got hurt and came back, and good on him for that. But he's just got to be a little bit better, man. The role players, I think Nikhil was like 1 for 7. Nas Reed was like 0 for 8. Like
Nas Reed was 1 for 11.
that's like
Wow.
they couldn't hit shit, and that credit to the Thunder's defense, but that's also just unacceptable.
Same
you know?
with Nickel Alexander-Walker. He was 3 for 11, and Dante DiVincenzo 3 for 14. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they couldn't hit shit to save their life.
Dante was 3 for 12 from the 3-point line.
What were the Nikhil and Nas from the 3?
Nas Reed was 0 for 7. Nikhil Alexander-Walker was 2 for 9.
That's just bad.
That's really bad.
You just got to be better, and that opens up everything for Anthony Edwards if those dudes are knocking down shots. I don't think Rudy is playable in this series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think his style works well with them. I think they need that speed because the Thunder are gonna switch high, and Rudy's obviously great in the switch. But I think they need that speed a little bit more than anything because they're gonna need someone to stand in the corner to knock down shots. So I think, bro, there's definitely potential to Thunder sweep this team.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a biased fan or nothing like that. But when you look at the teams left in the playoffs, bro, respectfully, none of them are on the Thunder's level. Like, if the Celtics or the Cavs were left, I'd be giving flowers. But this team won 68 games. Like, when will that matter? You know, I feel like that everyone's going to keep disrespecting them and say, well, they've never been here before. Like, if a team, we haven't seen a team win this many games since 2016. You know? Like, that's a good-ass team. Whether you
Exactly.
like it or not, whether you think Luka's better, whether you think Jokic is better, whether you think there's a dude that could carry them past this team. This team won 68 games, bro. You're not going to just punk them.
Yeah.
You know? I will say, though, I don't think a series starts till the away team wins. So we're going to have to wait till Game 3. I think the Thunder win Game 2, too.
Okay.
But I'll put that out there.
Come
but
on.
I do think, I think Minnesota just is a worse version of us. And maybe with another couple years of development, they could be better. But, yeah, they're just they just look bad.
How do you want to describe Minnesota's defense? Like, what are they doing that's wrong? Are they playing too much ISO? Are they getting mixed up? Like,
I'm going to be
how
honest.
would you describe their scheme?
The Thunder's defense is our offense. We force so many turnovers and force so many points off of our turnovers. I wouldn't say their offense is bad or nothing like that, but when you have guys like Caruso, Wiggins, Shea, Jalen Williams, Chet, Hartenstein that are all, like, realistically all defensive caliber defenders, Lou Dort, like, I don't know how I left his name off. Cason Wallace. Like, you have dudes like that, bro, like, you just can't run your offense the same way. It's havoc, bro. It's like playing against, like, the Eagles defense last season. Like, you have 11 dudes who are, like, top 3, top 4 at their position defensively. Like, there's just nothing you could do. There's really nothing. Like, you either got to get lucky and knock down shots or you fucking fold. And they chose fold. It does take a lot of mental toughness to beat us. I do think that what Minnesota needs to do and what every team needs to do, I saw this the most in the Denver series, is you just got to punch this team in the mouth, you know. There was one game the Nuggets came back against us, maybe 2. But I think if you go up early against the Thunder, your chances of winning obviously are a lot higher. You're not going to be able to do that like Indiana Pacers type of comeback against us because our defense is so sound. You're going to need to knock down your shots early and kind of rattle us. And they did do that. They went up, I think it was like 22-10 or something like that.
Yeah.
But then they just crumbled, like instantly crumbled, you know. So Shea had an MVP performance. He was just unstoppable.
Yeah.
And it just, that's what happens, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do. There's levels to the Shea. Anthony Edwards, we coming for you.
These playoffs have shown clearly that, I mean, obviously 3-and-D players are important, but defense wins games.
Yes.
Defense definitely wins games. It happened to the Lakers. Didn't have the right defensive scheme. We got blown out. OKC's been dominating every team because defensively they can just shut any star down. The Knicks, same with them. I mean, the Pistons had the same level and they matched them, but once again, they shut them down like instantly because they had more experience and they had Josh Hart like as the heart of the team. Same with OG Anunoby giving them that fight.
And if you want to look at the other way around,
Yeah.
the games that the Pistons did win, a lot of that was because Asar Thompson was giving Jalen Brunson hell.
That too. So, I mean, I hope everybody realizes that offense is good, but you really need those defensive stoppers to stop those type of stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just loving the way these teams are set up for it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at Cleveland, like, The problem with Cleveland this season, or at least in the playoffs, was very similar to the problem the Lakers had, where you have two guards that just aren't great defenders.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell did do a better job in the playoffs, but he's just not, as a talent, he's not that, So, it's tough with that team too, but the defense does matter. Defense, and I think it's not just about defense, it's about your weakest link.
Yeah.
If you have an Austin Reeves out there, we're targeting that. You saw this in the Knicks-Pacers game where they were just going at Brunson, because it's sure, he's giving you 43, but can't stop anyone.
Exactly.
So I do think the Cavs kind of had that problem, and I think the Pacers are the best team at taking advantage of that because the Pacers will find your hole and just go right in it.
Exactly.
Pause. I'm sorry for pause.
I just heard that.
I'm sorry, but pause. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry. But yeah, we could transition to the Pacers-Knicks. Game 1 was played last night. I didn't get to watch it live, but the group chat blew up. So when I got home, I was like, fuck, dude, I got to watch the second half.
Bro,
man, what a game.
Oh, man. I've had so many favorite playoff games, but that one might be the best one.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise, a lot of those favorite playoff games have been Pacers games that they've won, but how do you come back from being down 9 with 50 seconds left or a minute left? How do you do that?
That was crazy, bro.
They're using dark magic, bro.
Have to.
They're using something, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they actually put a magnet in the ball. Neesmith knocking down 4 or 5 straight threes.
Dude, that was March Madness. There's no other way to describe that other than that was fucking... you don't see that shit. That's the shit that... they're like, oh, I don't like the NBA, but I'll watch March Madness because you get the... that was the moment that you're fucking looking for, bro.
That really was,
That was insane. Even the Haliburton shot, bro. If Haliburton missed that shot, bro... That is one of the stupidest looking shots in the history of basketball.
Really?
That would have looked so stupid. But he just got the perfect bounce. He hit the choke, which was elite fucking Selly.
Oh, for 1,000%.
Dude, that was just so, exhilarating. Obi Toppin was fucking prime Blake Griffin last night. There was just nothing you could fucking do about that team, bro.
Bro.
If we're breaking it down, though, from a X's and O's standpoint, I think... there's a problem with the Knicks that they can't solve in the series because Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, although had great games, are the 2 worst defenders out of both teams on the court.
That was bad.
It's just there's nothing you could do about that. Miles Turner, maybe statistically didn't have a great game, but he was just setting the table on those screens, man. It was really Tyrese Haliburton was just picking them apart, and there's the Aaron Nesmith shit, you can't even be mad about that because there's just nothing you could fucking do to stop that. But there's a lot there with Brunson and Cat that I think you could address by putting a Deuce and Mitchell Robinson in the game because the Knicks took that big lead when Brunson was off the court.
Yeah.
And Deuce McBride was in the game. I think they needed that defense. And you can't pull Brunson in the fourth quarter because he's so unstoppable, but I think everyone was on for the Knicks, too. It was literally just the defensive side of the ball that costed them. And OG Anunoby fumbling that pass, too. I mean, that was insane.
But I think that also, when Brunson was off the floor, it was also because he had 5 fouls. So they had to, preserve him for a second.
Yeah, that's true.
But OG, Josh Hart, all those other guys hustling, and they even did it. I think a couple of times they subbed out Cat for a second and Mitchell Robinson was in. But OG did a good job of getting them a lead. And then putting them in the position to close it out. But then it was just the Pacers having way more heart, wanting to win the game.
But that run didn't happen until Brunson was out of the game, bro.
That's true.
And that's what kind of scares me. It's I don't think they're going to end up like this.
Yeah.
My serious prediction, I'm going to say, is Knicks in 7. Which I know we're hot on the Pacers right now, but I think the Knicks are going to pull that one out. But they just got to be... there's nothing you could do about that. Brunson's going to be a bad defender, Cat's going to be a bad defender. I mean, what was the stat during the season? He gave up 80% of field goals at the rim or something like that. It was something ridiculous like that.
You're talking about Cat, right?
Yeah. So it's good to see Mitchell Robinson in there getting burned. It's good to see Deuce in there getting burned and being able to, me personally, I feel if your lineup with Deuce the three wings and Mitchell Robinson gets you up 14, and you're up 14 with 8 minutes left. Like, there's no point of putting Brunson and Cat in. I know that's dumb, but that's how basketball, like, I'm so 4 feet the high hand, you know? And Brunson was hot, sure, but they just were doing it right, I think, bro. That, like, defense wins championships.
Yeah.
And the defense, Brunson had 43, Cat had 37. Their defense costed them that game. You know?
Looking at the stats, man, I'm just like, how do you lose this game?
The best Cat game of the playoffs. Cat has not had a great game like that this whole playoffs.
Cat had 35, 12, 2, 1, and 1. And he was +9.
And they lost.
11 for 17 from the field, 4 for 8 from the 3-point line.
You just, the cone, like, you got to be a better defender, bro. And Mitchell Robinson's shown that. What's your series prediction?
Whew, I'm thinking about this, bro, because low-key, like, I'm always a guy, like, especially for a game like that, I think it was 6 or 5 minutes left, and they were up by 17, and I was like, it's got to be over. Like, all they got to do is push or hold the lead. Even if it's a 5-point lead, it's over. But I think the Pacers really did take their heart, especially in MSG. But once again, there's that, like, Jalen Brunson and these Knicks lost to this Pacers team last year. So I am going to say, because they stole a game in MSG, I'm going to say Pacers in 6.
Okay.
I'm going to say Pacers in 6. I think that the Knicks are going to do their best to win tomorrow and then win one game in their house. But I think the Pacers play too well at home. And I think that their team chemistry is way too good. Like, I wanted to talk about this. The one thing that made me worry about the Pacers a little bit, not in the first round, but going into the second round, was, can Tyrese turn into that guy who isn't just passive, who isn't just setting his teammates up? Can he score?
Yeah.
He has scored. Like, that man, there's been so many games where he's either had 25 points, 30 points, 24 points, stuff like that.
Not bad.
Having him do that, along with getting, like, 4 rebounds and 7 or 8 assists, that is deadly. Because if he's scoring like that, the rest of his team is going to score.
Yeah.
I feel like it encourages his team to score as well. We saw Aaron Nesmith. I know that it's probably never going to happen again, but he made 6 straight threes in a row. We saw Pascal Siakam. He hasn't been doing the most amazing thing, but he has been playing his role and being the scorer that his team needs along with the rebounder.
I will say, and I was going to say this, but now that you brought it up,
Yeah.
I do think in that game, Siakam played like the worst starter on the court for both teams, which is kind of crazy to say, and I don't think will be the case, like, consistently. But he was, I think, the worst starter on the court.
He had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists with 2 steals.
But an ugly 17,
But
bro.
it was an ugly 17. He was 7 for 16. He didn't make a 3. He was 0 for 2. But that's what's crazy about this team. Like, their starting 5, especially when Tyrese gets into a bind, Andrew Nembhard has been doing so well. Same with TJ McConnell a lot of times, but Andrew Nembhard has been that guy to make really good baskets that they need, or even getting a steal that they need.
Yeah.
Like, down the stretch in those last 2 minutes, he was going at Brunson. He was making tough layups. He was creating really good plays, like that Obi Toppin give and go, where Obi Toppin passed it to him and he passed it and he was wide open.
Yeah, for the game when he dunked on, that was an and one too.
Oh, it should have been an and one.
Yeah,
it should have been, but that's what I'm just saying. This team has just really good chemistry. They read each other so well, and I think now that's why I'm picking them, because I feel like any situation they've been in now, they've been in a lot. They've been in a lot of games they shouldn't have won, and they just come out because they are locked in. And it's because Tyrese, Nembhard, TJ, those guys are doing such a good job of playmaking and orchestrating the offense. And it's so fun to watch. And I know the Knicks, I'm not trying to do a big knock on them. They are probably they could make it a 7-game series, but I think the Pacers bench is too good. Like, you're going to need Cat and Jalen Brunson, along with them, either in Mikal Bridges or an OG, to average like 20 with that.
Yeah.
Average 20, 25 or something.
Which they
their
can
bench
do.
isn't that good. They probably could do it, but
I want to say, shout out Ben Shepherd. He did a very good job guarding Brunson. Bro, this is what my point, though, and I just pulled the box score up. Miles McBride was plus 12. I feel like every game I watch with Deuce, or when I look at the box score, he's always plus. Jalen Brunson was minus 8. Not saying Deuce McBride is better than Jalen Brunson, so don't take me out of context. But Deuce McBride was such a huge part in that run. I don't know how you take him out of that game. And he is the guy on this team that I would pick to guard Haliburton because when Deuce was in the game, Haliburton wasn't giving him buckets. He really wasn't. He was giving Brunson buckets, but when Deuce was in the game, it was on Nembhard and Nesmith. So I think you gotta rock out, bro. I want to see a lineup, and I don't know how often they played this lineup, but I want to see like Brunson, Deuce, one of the wings, Mitchell Robinson, and Cat. Like I want to see how that works out because you need that defense out there, and I think like Mikal or OG there would be their best defender. And sure, the offense would lack, bro, but you gotta find a way to outshoot this team, which you're not gonna fucking do, or you gotta find a way to guard it. And I don't know if Thibodeau is that coach to figure that out. And I love Thibodeau, and I give Thibodeau his flowers because I do like the playing these playoff rotations of 6 guys and all that. But I just don't think he X's and O's Y's can match up with Carlisle. And I saw a lot of people saying Carlisle coached a bad game. I didn't get to like feel that when I watched the second half of the game because it was just like Nesmith and Tyrese Haliburton, what they did is not coaching. It's just like it's damn near luck.
It's moments, bro.
It is moments.
It's moments.
And I will say I don't think that they could do this consistently. And that's why I'm picking the Knicks here because sure Tyrese had his game. I don't know if he's going to have this game because he's been so up and down in this playoffs. And that's the shit that's been annoying me when I bring up narratives about him because I'm not knocking him as a player, but I think like whenever he has a good game, it's like everyone called him overrated, and it's like I don't see people that called him like overrated. That he had a bad stretch objectively in the season. You know, like he wasn't an all-star. Siakam was an all-star for a reason because Tyrese Haliburton, like, don't get me wrong, he was good, but he wasn't this level. You know, and it's cool to see him elevate to this level, but he also has a lot of games in this playoffs where he had 13, 12, 7, you know? So it's like, that's just the type of player he is. And when you get games like this out of him, there's like no one in the league that could fuck with this team other than the Thunder. But when he has those other games, bro, like I don't think, and I want to say this now, bro, if the Pacers make the finals and whether they play us or the Timberwolves, I don't think this shit would fly against either of those teams. You can't have this come back from 15 points gimmick against those top defenses in the NBA. Shout out to the Knicks, but the Knicks just have a lot of holes defensively. But the Thunder and the Timberwolves don't have that.
You're trying to make sure you don't say anything weird.
I'm just chilling.
I feel you.
The Thunder and the Timberwolves, bro, they have 10 guys who will just sit in that chair, you know? And I think, sure, Indiana could probably outshoot them, but they're not going to get good shots off.
They got to slow the game down.
They
have to. If they make it to that level against you guys, they have to slow the game down. They can't do, because I remember the stretch you were talking about when Jalen Brunson went out. They turned the ball over a lot. I think they threw 3 or 4 turnovers in a row. They can't do that against OKC. They have to slow it down. Once they get that one turnover, they gotta go for a good basket.
Bro, if the Thunder were to play the Pacers in the finals, I think I would go Thunder in 4. Like I think it would be like one of the worst finals. I just don't think they match up well against us at all. Who's gonna bust our ass? You can't have a Tyrese series. You're not gonna have a Siakam series. Like who is gonna give us? Who on this team will kill us?
I'm picking you guys against any of these teams going forward. It's just I think it would most likely be Thunder in 5, only because no matter what they would come out swinging and like it would just be they would just have a game. Like they would just have a game.
I don't know. I don't think you can have a game against us, bro, because the reason that you have a game like against the Knicks, for example, like Tyrese got going in that second quarter, you know, and that opens up everything. I don't think you get a Tyrese quarter because there's no holes. Like, who are you going to go at? You're not going to – Tyrese is not giving the Thunder 14 points in a quarter. I think we all know that. Aaron Nesmith is not hitting 5 straight threes against the Thunder. This shit is not replicable. If they were playing the healthy Celtics, the Celtics would sweep this team.
The Pacers?
Yeah. I think so, bro. Just because defensively it's different, bro. It's just different. The Knicks defense, sure they have the top dogs, Mikal Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, and then you have Miles McBride, you have Mitchell Robinson. But you're not going to play those 5 together. You're going to have to play Brunson or Cat in the game. And I think that's why I really wanted to see the Knicks run without Brunson and Cat to end the game, because they were cooking. You know, like, basketball is such a two-way sport. And if Brunson has 43 but gives up 31, it's so much different than Deuce McBride, who may have 5-7 points. Yeah. But he is in that fucking chair and Tyrese can't do shit. If Tyrese doesn't get going, Nesmith doesn't get going. Then you win that fucking game. Yeah. Aaron Nesmith is no KD. He's not a shot creator. He's not going to get you a bucket unless he's going. And he got going.
I don't know. I love these playoffs, man. And I just love the fact that it's starting out this way.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody... That's been my biggest problem watching these playoffs and then hearing people say, "Oh, it's not that good." I'm like, what are you guys watching?
They're not.
What are y'all watching? All these series have been good except for like the OKC versus Memphis, because that was the easiest stinking playoff.
And even that, there were some good games in that. There was that game Scottie Pippen Jr. had like 25. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how people can knock these playoffs unless, and we're in LA. You know? So I would get why a Laker fan or a Clipper fan would be anti these playoffs.
I haven't heard anybody from like the Lakers side or even like the Flipper side or anywhere like really trashing on it. I think actual NBA fans are enjoying it, even like team favorites. But I think it's just the people on the outside who like don't really watch it like that. Yeah. Like the ones who expect the casuals who expect like LeBron, Stephen Curry, KD to be in it. They're like, oh, it's not that fun. Maybe the Celtics fans are probably the ones who are going to be mad because, you know, Jason Tatum went down and then boom. But I don't know. I think if you're a casual, you're probably not going to like it that much. I'm just being for real.
I don't think so, bro. I think if you're a casual and you're watching the games, you're going to like the playoffs.
Okay, if you aren't watching it, then yeah. But
if you're reading the box score, sure.
Yeah.
Because it's like 4 teams that aren't historically like. There's no Lakers. I saw this the first Western Conference Finals since like the 90s or something like that without it being in Texas or LA, which is crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, yeah, like these are 4 teams that aren't usually there. The Knicks haven't won since the 70s. The Pacers haven't been legit this good since like the early 2000s. The Thunder, I mean, we've been here before, but like, we haven't realistically won nothing since the 70s as the Supersonics, and most people don't even credit that. And then this is the farthest the Timberwolves, I think, have ever gotten.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, actually, this is the second time they've been in. Because they played the Mavericks in
last year. Yeah, you're right. But, yeah, I mean, it's not familiar, but that don't mean it's bad, bro. Experience new things, and that's how we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of You Know Ball. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram. Not TikTok.
Yep.
Oh, that's what you say, huh? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Yeah, we're going to be back on Twitter very soon. But most importantly, man, join the Discord. The month of June, we're going to have trivia every day. If you hit on your trivia picks, then you can win an Amazon gift card.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that sounds lit to me. I want Amazon gift card. Yeah, Phil's going to come for the throne.
I'm going to try, bro. Yeah. I want that gift card.
Yeah.
Amazon nice with them gift cards.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say?
Nah, just make sure to hit that bell as well. I'm Phil. This Ant-Man straight at the MCU. We out, and let's bounce.
Bounce, baby. Boom.
Boom.